Hello and welcome to this live broadcast here on Moneycontrol. Well, the markets aren't doing much this afternoon, but of course, we are looking forward to what in the Indian team can do on the pitch as they take on Bangladesh today in the 17th match of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. We have an unbeaten streak so far. India has gone in all gung ho and has won those three matches. We can't say the same for the Bangladesh team, which is going to be coming on the field after two defeats in the three matches that they've played. So let's discuss the intricacies of how this is really going to play out on the field in Pune. And joining me to do that is K. Sriniwas Rao. Thank you, Sriniwas, for giving us your time and speaking with us here to get into the details for us right at it of how what are we actually going to see. We've seen India in perfect form so far, so how is it going to be different and what are we likely to see on the field today?
Well, I doubt we're going to see anything different on the field today. You're talking about the Indian team, which is in absolute red hot form. Whether it's the bat, whether it's with the ball, the overall, the mindset, the confidence, the conditions. I was just looking at the ground in Pune, a flat surface, small ground. Imagine India win the toss, what happens? Plus, I'm hearing that Bangladesh may or may not play Shakib Al Hassan. I'm not very sure what the latest update on that front is because he had apparently pulled up an injury. And if he doesn't play, it's a big setback for Bangladesh, just for bigger setback for Bangladesh. But that said, this Indian team is red hot, is in red hot form. Uh, so India has played three matches so far. Uh, Chennai, Australia, Delhi, Afghanistan, Ahmedabad versus Pakistan. So three matches. So potentially there were 30 wickets to be taken. India has picked up 28 out of those for 30 wickets. All right.
Right.
Indian attack has been picking up wickets. Now that augurs well. It's not just you're not just talking about an attack that is willing to stem the flow of runs. You're talking about an attack that is looking to take wickets, make a statement out there. Look at the form that Jasprit Bumrah has been in. The last two matches, of course, with the one in Ahmedabad and the one the one in Afghanistan and the one in Chennai. Those two wickets had absolutely nothing for Pacers. One was again a sprint friendly condition. The one in Delhi, the match against Afghanistan was a flat surface, was like absolutely had nothing in it for bowlers. And on both those tracks, he fulfilled his quota of kind of 10 overs. Walked away with wickets, did not give away too many runs. So well, you're looking at an icon out there. Kind of the way he's been going
Right.
about. Yeah, all put together, very
Right,
difficult
you
to
did.
right
You
now.
did mention Jasprit Bumrah, and there was lots of talks of whether India would want to actually give him a little bit of a break after this three matches that he's played, and they would get in Shardul Thakur or any of that. Should they be experimenting, or we are in that perfect, what do you call it, a balance in terms of how our lineup looks like?
No, I mean Shardul will play any which ways. So there's no this thing in Pune. See, knowing Rohit, he's not going to tinker with the squad, and he
Hmm.
personally believes in Shardul. I don't. But Rohit, the captain, does. That's enough.
Correct.
So Rohit will not tinker with the squad. He will go in with the same 11, which is understandable. And no rest for anyone here. Play all the matches, qualify, then chill. Then you can look forward to the semi-final and then figure out what kind of break you want. This is, I think, India's fourth game. If you win it today, you're halfway into the tournament. Another two games, and you actually qualify for the semi-final. Then it's about the standing, where you actually, you'll want to obviously win all matches, stand right up there, go in with all the positivity that you can. But that said, right now, no rest for anyone. And yeah, as far as Jasprit is concerned, he needs to keep bowling. I mean, these guys are bowling used to playing cricket 365 days a year across formats. So, they'll all be buoyed up. Nobody needs a rest right now. He's bang in the middle of a World Cup, which looks like you're going to win. So nobody wants a rest.
Right. So let's look at the other team now. We are looking at Bangladesh, and if you have to do the comparison, they are coming from this losing streak. We also know that there could be uncertainties in terms of the captain and who's actually going to be captaining that team today. So, what are we likely to see? And especially if you look at just the five ODIs before this, they do have an edge above India. but not in a World Cup match. So how is that team really placed, and what are we likely to see from that end?
I mean, listen. I mean, it's unfortunate. Kind of, they've faced these two defeats, but it's a relatively inexperienced side also. Trying to punch above its weight. As for today's game is concerned, I want Shakib to be in there. Like whatever little chance they have, they need Shakib to like kind of show them the way. And otherwise there are like a couple of rookies in the squad. There are a couple of good batsmen also. Like for example, Shanto and Das. I mean, can they get going? Can they get going against a squad which is like kind of which has a Bumrah, which has a Siraj, which has a Kuldeep, mind you. I mean, who's bowling beautiful. Kuldeep Yadav bowling like a dream. The other day I was listening to him talk in the press conference, and he said somebody asked him like what is the change you brought. He said I've just increased a bit of pace to my the ball. I mean, a small change like that, and the guy looks like completely in confidence. There's a thing about left arm spinners, especially his left arm orthodox spinners who love to flight the ball. Much of how they work, much of how they function is all about confidence. And the stronger they are here, the better they function, and that depends on how badly they're going to not get hit in a match. So what happens in a match? A couple of bad matches in the left arm, a good left arm spinner may tend to lose confidence. But Kuldeep so far has had a beautiful run, so his confidence is sky high. And then you run into a side which is again not really known for its batting depth. So you're talking about a bowler who's going to like pounce on them once again. I mean, this is going to be very difficult for Bangladesh. The only way they can pull any punches in this game is if India does mistakes. And right now this team, I don't see them committing mistakes. I mean, I hope I'm absolutely right on that front.
Right. So we hope and that there are no those mistakes in this match. But what are the kind of the pitch? Let's talk about that, and whether India should go into this one batting or bowling. What would be the ideal way of looking at this match, especially in Pune, given the weather conditions, all of that put together?
So okay, here's the thing. Over the last, if you look at the trend at this ground, it's technically it's been a high scoring ground, especially in ODIs. 300 plus scores have hardly been ours. The only thing is, yesterday I was talking to someone in Pune who was there at the ground, and there was a drizzle.
Hmm.
Not for too long, but there was a drizzle. So if today, if there is a drizzle, then you might, I don't know, want to chase. And also the fact that nowhere in India will I discount the dew factor. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a horror that you got to live with. So again, I mean, that's the only reason that India may want to kind of look at the idea of batting second. Else you'd want to just walk out there and like put runs on board. But yeah, the only reason why you want to probably look at batting second is the chances of weather playing spoil spot, and the idea of not fielding under lights, that can get very
Right.
difficult. Spinners can't grip the ball, a lot of things. So yeah, those are things.
Right. So we could be.
Otherwise, the pitch
Hmm.
is an out and out belter.
Right. So then we would look at, I mean, it would also make sense to be a batting second if that has to be the case, is it? What about Shubman Gill? Now, we did see him that comeback match in that anticipated India Pakistan, but could this be the one where he actually puts those, the score on the board and all of that, his comeback of sorts?
Let's hope so, because the way he started off against Pakistan, the guy like looked like he was never ill. There was nothing wrong with him. So here's the thing. Look at the amount of ruckus that was on. In the run up to Shubman actually making his comeback. He didn't play the Chennai game in the run up to the game. Mind you, these are small things but matter a lot. In the run up to the game in Chennai, news reports said that he had suffered from dengue, right?
Right.
Uh, but neither the team management nor the BCCI nor he himself ever agreed or admitted to he being diagnosed with dengue. There's not a single statement, right? But then I guess one thing led to the other. Panic set in, chaos set in. That no, dengue tournament is gone. How will he play? Dengue like gives way to so much weakness. No chance. What happened? Third match, he was back in the tournament, and
Mhm.
look at the way he opened, could ever somebody have said that this guy is just coming out of dengue? So there are two
Right.
possibilities. Either he never had dengue, or by the time the news media got wind of the fact that there was dengue, he was already recovering from it. Because there's no way that you're down with dengue and then you come back and you
True
make a
that.
comeback like that. Mind you, I was in Ahmedabad. It was hot. To say that it was hot is an understatement, right? So in conditions like those, the guy makes a comeback, and what a start! What a start! He was in cracking form. Unfortunately, the shot couldn't go through an inch away from the fielder, and that would have gone to a boundary, and the guy would have been looking good for 100. But that said, well, he should be bringing his form back into this game once again. And this is a relatively smaller ground, and he won't mind freeing his arms a bit.
Right. Okay, so my final questions. Let's look at the scoreboard. We are there at the top. We can. This one will, make us that formidable position up there. But Bangladesh, for that matter, is on six on that table. So how is that table likely to change, and what are the matches that we could see could make those changes there on the table?
I At this point in time, I really wouldn't see Bangladesh doing much to change their fortunes in this tournament. Yeah, I mean, unless more upsets like the ones that we saw in the case of Australia and the
Right.
case the one. So okay, these teams have to wait for the others to commit a mistake. Right? I mean, look at South Africa. I mean, you come in with that kind of batting depth, batting might, batting form. You're busy putting 350, 400 on board, and then you go ahead and you lose to Netherlands. And, then what's there to say? And Australia, I mean, they have not picked steam in the tournament yet, and they look completely out of place. England, another team that suffered a setback. So these teams are committing mistakes. So if they continue to commit mistakes, then we are looking at a Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, raising their hand and like kind of looking differently. But otherwise, the script more or
Well,
less writes itself.
so it seems like that table is more or less set. We do not want to commit any kind of mistake. At least Team India shouldn't as we enter into this match 17 of the World Cup. But thank you so much, Sriniwas, for giving us your time, for setting us this tone for this match that we're getting into. And of course, the many other matches that will follow after this. And we'll be keeping you updated right here on Money Control as well of what we can anticipate from the ICC Cricket World Cup here 2020. Thanks for everyone who've tuned
Thank you.
in. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you. Hello?